Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. We hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. It's been exhausting for me. Johnny got stung on the hand by a wasp. It's been painful and tears. And we're back, though. We are back. All that stuff's behind us. Before we get into it, before I ask Johnny how he's doing, guys, a bit of admin for you. As always, please smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. It really does help the channel. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're going to be going live. Can be anytime. And hit the comment section. Let us know where you're from, who you support, and keep us honest with regards if we make mistakes or anything. We don't mean to. It's it's a lot of
human.
flying. Exactly, Johnny. We are human, mate. Guys, quickly, audio podcast platforms are available. Amazon, Apple Pods, and Spotify. The video format of this is on Spotify as well. So make sure you follow and hit the 5-star. Appreciate you all. Johnny, how are you, mate? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. In case anyone's wondering, I'm not drinking water. Vodka. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water, not vodka. In case anyone was worried about my my behaviour.
Straight gin, that looks like. A little bit of
it does. It looks like a bottle of gin. And for the questions in the chat, a couple of questions. Why aren't we mentioning Morgan Gibbs-White? Is because there's nothing to talk about. Okay, he's still being held hostage, and as I said the other night, if you do know the whereabouts of his dog that's still being held, please DM Sean or I so we can get in touch with the relative authorities. I'm sure Morgan Gibbs-White will celebrate signing that 3-year extension. The fact that his hand was held while signing it has got nothing to do with it. Anyway, moving swiftly.
I've got to be honest, that did look like a hostage negotiation thing, didn't it? It looked very odd. He was licking his lips every 3. He looked nervous, thanking Mr. Marinakis every 5 seconds.
Mr. Marinakis.
Yeah. Looked really suspect. But whatever, he's dead to me. Let's move on, Johnny. Let's start the story today. There's a lot going on up in Newcastle, right? So a lot of the sort of dominoes, the merry-go-rounds. Liverpool are about to ready a monster bid for Alexander Isak. At the same time, Benjamin Sesko looks to be the potential newest member of the reject list who they don't want to go to Newcastle. He's come, apparently, according to reports, saying he'd rather go to Manchester United than he would to Newcastle United. I mean, that's a bit of a slap in the face given United's travails over the last sort of 24 months or whatever. What's your thoughts, Johnny, on the whole Newcastle shindig right now?
I mean, right now, listen, they lost the director of football in May, and since then it's been an absolute shit show. They can't seem to sign anyone, get anyone over the line. It seems like Marinakis wasn't particularly bothered about losing Anthony Elanga. He didn't hold him hostage. Other than that, they haven't signed anyone. They've been rejected by, I think the last time I saw it was about 6 or 7 different players. There was links with Anthony Gordon away from the club. We know Isak doesn't want to play. Sesko, listen, if I'm brutally honest, I'm really surprised he's still on the market. I don't know whether Arsenal used him to get Gyökeres, sort of posturing that they were interested in him and Gyökeres when really there was only one player that they were interested in. They're going to have to listen. They know, Leipzig know how much money is going to be paid for Isak. So they are not going to drop the price of 80 million for Sesko. Not a chance. And my club, RB Leipzig will not be dropping the price. We're already selling Simmons. We're selling our souls down the river. Just as I became an RB Leipzig fan, right? We're selling Simmons and Sesko. I don't know what's going on. We need to kit out the team again. Just when I thought it couldn't be worse. The Sesko news, Sam, he said he'd rather play for Man United. So that should please you after Højlund's shocking performance again at the weekend. You need a striker big time, but do you really have the money? That is the problem. I don't think you have the money just yet. I mean, you've got players that you want to get rid of. You've freed up a lot of funds, but we shall see what's happening with there. And you're definitely after a goalkeeper. Definitely. It's just which one you're going to get. Well, the news you got there. I mean, listen, I don't know what else to say about Newcastle right now. It's not like they've got a bad team. Let's be honest. They've got a good team. But, you know, if Isak goes, then that leaves them struggling and scullering around trying to get a last-minute striker, which isn't good, trying to integrate a striker at the last minute. They've got the Danish boy, but other than that, they haven't got anyone up front.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it just, for me, I just think Newcastle United fans are getting frustrated with the club for the entire opposite reasons of why Tottenham fans are getting frustrated with their club. It's weird. But yet the same outcomes apply, right? That you have Tottenham fans that under the Johan Lang model are not given any kind of any tidbits of information. They're not given anything to kind of chew on and get excited about. Even if it doesn't manifest itself into reality in the end. Newcastle fans have been given loads and loads and loads of demonstrations of ambition, but it all comes to nothing if these players see Newcastle as, you know, a level below where they see themselves as a player. And I think the Newcastle are struggling. And I genuinely think that they're going to end up with two players that they'll probably end up overpaying for, because Newcastle will end up getting a little bit desperate to get something done, whether that's overpaying for Avissa or possibly option B, which is where the story is also moving, which is, of course, Nicholas Jackson. I mean, it looks like Chelsea might end up getting themselves another whopper of a transfer fee here, because they'll take advantage of the fact that Newcastle are desperate, and at the moment they're not seeming to get any bites. Let me ask you this: Would you think that Newcastle might end up with a player that Tottenham have been linked with today, which is Mitrovic from Al Hilal? Now, he's on monster money. He's on 450 grand a week.
Nah.
But would it be a loan deal where he pops back to Newcastle United? I think that he could. Well, I don't think. I mean, it hasn't been linked, but I think that there might be something there. Newcastle and, you know, Clear Lake and PIF and all that stuff. I don't know if there's any kind of
strikers. You know, Callum Wilson's gone. He looks like he could sign for West Ham. Look, listen, let's not make any bones. We're not saying Newcastle has a bad team. What we're saying is, when they were last in the Champions League, they didn't have the strength in depth. And they need more depth. They need a striker if he goes. And they were looking for a striker even if he stayed. So, you know, what would you be looking at? Visser and Jackson?
Yeah, maybe.
If they can't get the other. So I don't know, but they desperately need strikers, as do Manchester United. Let's be honest. It's not like that they don't need them either. And I've got to be honest with you. I think Spurs need a striker as well. Let's be honest. I don't think it's just Newcastle. We're not looking to pick on Newcastle here because you know, it's just what's happening here. I'm just surprised at how many players. Jake, no, we know you're not panicking, but you don't want to be spending, if you do get the 150 million for Isak, you don't want to be trying to replace them mid-August or when the season starts, because let's be honest, Liverpool could start the season now without Isak and not be affected, whereas Newcastle can't afford that.
Yeah, and it's just that you can get 150 million quid. Again, there's nothing hate here. It's just observations of the situation, right? Like Newcastle United have gone after 5 or 6 players and have been gazumped, or been the other teams that have gone for have been rejected, right? They've chosen elsewhere. It's just what it appears to be in the media to be the reality of the situation. I love Newcastle United as a football. It's like, if I didn't support Tottenham, I'd support them. I think they're a brilliant football. Years old, and hearing that roar down on the when they got the ball, when the Georgian fellow what was his name, Katzbayer, Tamuri Katzbayer, that guy, when he used to get the ball, I send shivers down your neck, that roar. So I've got nothing but sort of love for Newcastle. I'm just saying that they are, if they get 150 million pound in for Isak, but they keep trying to punch above their weight. They keep trying to punch for the very best talent that's out there, and the very best talent doesn't see Newcastle at the same level as they see City, City, Chelsea, whatever else. Same problem that Tottenham have, by the way. So I'm not like isolating Newcastle here. Then how do you spend it? You can make the same argument for like Bournemouth, mate. Bournemouth, different team, different concerns, but same argument. If they sold 5 of their best, their starting 11, they could raise £300 million. But how are they going to replace those players? Even if they had £500 million, a certain caliber of player isn't necessarily going to want to go to Bournemouth, right? It's just the way it is.
Replace them. I mean, they're struggling, Bournemouth, to replace them now. Look, right now, there's so many strikers. The striker merry-go-round. Even Gabriel Jesus has been thrown into the mix now. You've got Nkuku. You've got Jackson. You've got there's just so many strikers out there right now. The list is endless.
Yeah. Dusan Vlahovic might end up coming to the Premier League. Would you think Newcastle fans would be okay with a Vlahovic?
I think Vlahovic, if you can get him back on track, why not? I mean, if you think about how much people were paying for him, Darwin Núñez, where's he going to go? There's another striker, if you could get inside his head. Callum Wilson, we just said before, he's going to be signing a new contract, probably with West Ham on a free. There's so many strikers out there, and it's, where they're going to land right now. And is it going to be out of desperation that clubs, try to get rid of their players? Man United, I don't think have got a hope in hell of getting rid of Højlund unless it's out on loan right now. I just cannot see it whatsoever.
What do you think about with Newcastle United? Do you think that there's any chance that they could do a Darwin Núñez? Like if Sesko was to go, do you think Darwin Núñez would go the other direction?
Listen, I think Darwin Núñez, if you could get hold of him, it's hard to believe that the Darwin Núñez that we saw in Portugal, smashing goals left, right, and centre, suddenly, was getting in positions for Liverpool, but just couldn't hit the back of the net. So I don't know. I just think right now, someone's going to start moving for some of these players. They do not want to be, going last minute. But what Chelsea are asking for Nicholas Jackson, in my opinion, is a joke. £80 million. He hasn't displayed anything that he's worth 80 million euros. Do you see that, Sean? 80 million euros? Not a chance, mate.
No, I liked him. I liked him in Spain. I like the way that they played, but he played to a certain model of football. I sort of somewhat think of him in that the way that Forest used Anthony Elanga on the break. I think it was Villarreal, wasn't it? I think he. Whenever I remember watching Jackson in Spain, I just remember him being a gun at doing that kind of break, the pace, and then just putting the ball, running up and just sort of just slotting it home. And I just think that at Chelsea, they play a different model of football. They have much more possession based and much more kind of, shoehorn football. Horseshoe football rather, that eventually finds its way through. I don't think it suits Jackson. I think that suppresses the reality of the price of the player to most people's eyes. But I think that same reality is how Chelsea can get away with somehow flipping these players for about as much as they want, because they can make the argument that it's not him that's a bad player. He's just in a bad. It's like a horses for courses argument, and it worked with Kai Havertz.
Yeah, too much competition. Man United, though, another striker who Man United are looking at is Idrissa Gueye at Metz. Yeah, another striker. I mean, are they going to go left field, Man United, or do you think they're playing, holding up 4 or 5 different strikers? They did show an interest in Ollie Watkins. Villa said no chance, he's not going. I mean, he's highly rated, Idrissa Gueye, but
it's quite cracking player. Yeah,
I mean, what sort of money? But if you're Mets and you're seeing the prices that for all these players that are going for, all these strikers are going for, you're not going to sell him for less than 60 million, are you?
I don't think they'll get that for him personally.
Well, they try to. I'm talking about euros, by the way, not pounds.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting player, but I'd be surprised if we got anything like that. I'd say more like 40 or something, personally, 45. But he's a really good player. Yeah, look, we seem to know. It seems to be like there's these ballparks, isn't there? There's just these tiers of players right now, and it depends on how much time you got on your contract, how young you are, and then obviously where you're playing and the demand that's for it. I'd just be very surprised if they were to get 60 million euros.
Yeah, for him. I'll throw you another striker, Roberto Piccoli, right? What about him? West Ham are trying to sign him. I actually don't know him. I got to be honest. That's Calcio Mercato.
Sorry, mate. What was the link? My internet dropped out again. My internet's
playing. Roberto Piccoli. It's from Calcio Mercato.
Okay, I don't know Piccolo. Who's he play for?
I'm not sure. It's just a link that's just come up. If I'm honest, yeah, West Ham are interested in signing him and also Austrian midfielder Romano Schmidt from Werder Bremen, but they face competition from Aston Villa for that player. Right. There's quite a lot of news about at the moment. Everton.
If Everton get that Malik Fofana,
yeah,
right, I'll be like Everton are quietly going about. They got was it Arnau Loriente they're going for at the moment as well on the as a winger, right? Who's a real tricky winger. They were linked with somebody else the other day as well. It's so out of the wheelhouse of the typical David Moyes type of football that you expect. If they also go and get a Malik Fofana off the left-hand side, like it's a whole different version of like I've never seen a sort of squad that takes that shape. Be interesting to see what David Moyes can do with a team that has a bit more, I don't know, spice about them. You know, a little bit more flair, a little bit more creativity. The David Moyes we think of is just he makes do with what he has. He digs in and gets the best juice from the squeeze. But if a little bit more creativity in there, do you think Moisey can surprise a few people, mate?
Yeah, I said to you, I think they'll finish mid-table or maybe higher. You know, Fofana, they're nearly there. They are very, very nearly there with the fee. They want 35 million and they've offered 31 million. So, they're, not a million miles away. But Everton have secured an agreement with Bayern Munich for Adam Asnu from Bayern Munich. I'm not a player that I'm actually aware of. I've got to be honest with you.
No, same.
Afternoon, Gary. Afternoon. Always good to see you here. But yeah,
he's a left back, Asnu, apparently.
Right, but they're signing, and they're not messing around. I think they're going to have. Listen, they know the type of player that Moyes wants, and they're giving it to him. Unlike a lot of clubs at the moment. Atletico Madrid, I was saying to you, set to complete the signing of Enzo Milo from Stuttgart for a fee of only 20 million euros. Isn't it funny? If a Premier League club was coming in for Enzo Milo, I guarantee you would not be 20 million euros. There's just a Premier League tax. It's just ridiculous. It's the numbers that they put on these players, well above their true value. I mean, it's annoying.
I'd take Enzo Milo to Tottenham for what it's worth. I think he's a really interesting player from Stuttgart. Really, really like him. Plays in that sort of a bit of an all-rounder, really. He's a very versatile player. Someone that can do a little bit of everything. Plays in the 10 primarily, but it'd be interesting to see how that figures out. How much you say it was? 25 million quid?
20 million euros, mate.
20 million euros. Wow.
Tell me something. What do you think about this goalkeeper situation with Donnarumma?
What's the latest?
Where do you want to start? I mean, there was a rumour that Man City and Man United were into him, but now the deal's been done with Trafford. I doubt that's going to happen. He's in the final year of his contract. Do we expect Chelsea to come in with a bid?
Yeah, probably. Do you know, it's mad, isn't it, mate? Like, how old is Donnarumma now? 20...
He's young. He's still
24,
young.
25?
He's still young, mate.
Not young. He's not old, is he? He's he's the best in the game. Him or the Porto keeper. I'm surprised that Diogo hasn't left Porto yet. He's been there for a long time, and he's one of the most valuable goalkeepers in the world. and I'd be surprised if he stays there for too much longer. There's surely going to be a merry-go-round in August for goalkeepers. Mike Magnon's still unhappy at Milan. Obviously, we still don't know what's going to happen with Emi Martinez. We don't know what's going to happen with Onana. Is he going to go to Monaco? Are they going to move in a different direction? James Trafford seems to have kind of been the only major transition. And who was the other one? Lemmy Simmons or something? Lemmy Simmons or Semi Lemons?
Yeah, that's the other one they were interested in him, but that one hasn't come to any fruition yet.
Yeah.
There is one other club that's after him.
Go on.
Galatasaray.
Is it time for that segment of the show?
It could be. It could be.
This is the turkey segment. The turkey segment of the show.
I mean, how are they gonna tie this deal up, Donnarumma? Can they really tempt him to go to Galatasaray? Seriously?
I mean, look, it seems to be, Galatasaray seem to have access to more resources, and not just them, Besiktas and Fenerbahce, they also seem to be winning deals this summer that they wouldn't normally beat other teams to the Oki for, right? So who was it that it was the left back that ended up being on the tarmac? I forget his name. Who was going to go to AC Milan, the left back, and then he ended up. There were two planes on the runway at the same time, and he picked one.
Ended up going to Turkey instead.
He ended up going to Fenerbahce. I forget the guy's name now. English guy playing in Germany, but he So there's that one. Obviously, there's also by Harvey Elliott. Galatasaray have joined the race for Harvey Elliott as well today. So, they've got to have some sort of pull, some sort of. There's something going on with the ability to finance these things as well, right?
Yeah, I just don't understand how they are funding them all, because when you look at where they were in the transfer market a short while ago, trying to scrape around for loans not that long ago, there's a lot of small fees, a lot of sort of loans going. Tammy Abraham was a high profile one. I'm just trying to see. They're trying to get a lot of the Turkey players they're playing in Europe now to come back, but I can't see them. I can't see them getting them, to be honest with you. What was the? There is one deal though that's been done in Saudi Arabia, and I think we need to talk about that one, mate.
Well, let's make sure we get on the plane then, and we know where we're going next, don't we?
We're off to Saudi Arabia for the next part of the show.
Well, I just this one, João Felix. I mean, he's had more clubs than I've had hot dinners. It looked nailed on. He was going to Benfica. The fans were talking about, fan forums were all excited that he's coming home after all this time. Still only 25 years of age, but Al Nassr have actually reached an agreement to sign João Felix from Chelsea. The deal includes 30 million euros initial fee, which seems reasonable, but the deal includes add-ons and a significant sell-on clause, which would take it to over 50 million euros. I mean, 50 million euros Chelsea got for him, considering like every time he's gone somewhere on loan, no one wants to take him. They're obviously, I don't know what the deal was in comparison to Benfica's, but something turned him. Couldn't be money, could it, Sean, at the last minute? I mean,
no.
Benfica was certainly certain that that this deal was going to go ahead, and then all of a sudden, it's not happening. Last minute deal. I mean, Darwin Núñez is also wanted in Saudi from Al Hilal, but I can't see that one happening, to be honest with you. I think he's too young now to go out there. I think he probably would like to maybe stay in the Premier League. He had the deal, obviously, to go to Napoli. But do you think we're going to see a whole host of players flooding to Turkey come the end of August?
Yeah, well, I mean, they obviously have that extra week. They both them and them and Saudi both have the extra week to be able to do things. Look, I think that this summer it just feels very different with that whole relationship. It feels to me like something's going on with Turkey and the amount of money that they seem to have, the amount of like if Galatasaray have actually formalised now the deal for Osimhen and they've managed to put up the papers. Show me your papers. They've actually got the kind of the money that's
the bank loan.
The bank loan's finally come through.
Yeah,
they got their gyro check and they're straight down the betting office. And I think that and if they're going again, if they're moving again now, if they're actually in the race for a Harvey Elliott, it feels like, I don't know, like, Fenerbahce are making moves. They're putting together a really, really interesting squad there. If they get Skriniar and all that stuff as well, like it makes it's maybe there's just like a little micro competition in that league where like Galatasaray are going, holy shit, Besiktas and Fenerbahce are starting to gobble up some talent. We've got to do the same. Competition breeds competition, right? It's a good thing. But where the money's coming from, when you look at the revenues of those clubs, as I said to you before, I'm pretty sure that Fenerbahce's revenue last year was about equivalent to Leicester City, and yet they're seemingly able to put together the scran for quite a few talent mates. So it's very interesting to see how that one will go. I wanted to quickly ask you this, Johnny. Have you seen the story about Aston Villa? We got to pay the Pied Piper. Aston Villa have joined the race to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, DCL, to Villa.
I mean,
God, he's not coming to Tottenham. Jesus Christ, what are we doing here, mate? I mean, does that sign the death knell for Ollie Watkins? Where does he go?
Listen, they said they're not selling Ollie Watkins, but I mean, to have Ollie Watkins, who's 30 now, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's hard to believe he's still only 28, but he's just not happened. I mean, you think about all the times that Everton said, we're not selling him. He's our prize asset. It was talking about him being an England great, a long time England international. It just hasn't happened for him. Injuries have just sort of plagued him. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see him at somewhere like AC Milan or... AC Milan has signed Modric, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? So if they can sign Modric at 40, 41, I wouldn't be surprised to see him out in Italy. It's the sort of deal, or in Turkey, or in Saudi. 28 years of age, free agent. What's not to like? I mean, he's going to have a lot of offers. I did think that potentially he would be of interest to West Ham, but obviously not.
Yeah.
I can't see it. The one player that we were talking about, and we've spoken about him so many times, that Spurs, I said to you, I'd love it if Spurs came in for him. Juventus have been desperate to try and hold on to him. Kolo Muani, and long last, there's a link. Gazzetta dello Sport are saying that Manchester United have now entered the race for Kolo Muani. 26 years of age. I can't understand why this guy's not been snapped up already. Okay, he didn't have a great time at PSG, but we all saw him at Eintracht Frankfurt. We all seen him, how well he performed for Juventus, but they can't afford the fee. Man United, 40 million euros. That's well within their price structure, no? But where would he play? I mean, is that not crowded, that area now?
I think he played ahead of everybody in the 9 at United currently.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, this is the thing, mate, right? So I know, like, again, this is a football show, so, but obviously Johnny and I both spend a lot of our time engaging in Tottenham stuff, so like it's more obvious to us to be experiencing the ferocity of the fan base right now at Tottenham. Are going mental. I'm sure it's happening I'm sure it's happening in the Villa fan base. I'm sure it's happening in the Newcastle fan base. I'm sure it's happening in the United fan base, Arsenal until they got Gyökeres deal. So everyone's a little bit impatient. But when it comes to the striker market, Johnny, there is a never-ending list of available talent this year. For the first time in years, you still, even though 5 or 6 of the big dominoes have fallen, there's still about 7 or 8 other top tier or second tier, like when I say top tier, just for reference, it's like 65 million euros or above. And then the second tier is like 45 to 65 million euros, something around there. There's about 6 or 7 still top draw players that clubs are looking for exits on and looking for deals on. And I think that there's not that many top tier or second tier teams that are flush with cash and that are capable of making the moves right now. So I think it's, like how January is such a massive, it's like January's dead, Johnny, for like January the 1st till January the 27th. It's basically the worst idea of a window because everybody's doing the Mexican standoff. Nobody wants to pull the trigger first because they don't know whether they're going to miss out on some late opportunities and deals. I think that this window, there was an early on rush, Liverpool and City doing their thing separate to most. But I think by August the 15th until September the 1st, I think is going to be absolute mayhem in specific areas of the park. I think the goalkeeper, is going to be mayhem in that area because you can buy a goalkeeper late and they don't really need like pre-season tours or tactics. Like they're just doing their job and, and I think the strikers are largely the same. So I think that the striker market and the goalkeeper market are going to have a massive late flurry. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, no, I do. Because we said there's just so many swings and roundabouts in there. Chelsea, I don't think, can start the season with Sanchez on his own. They've lost a couple already. So I don't believe that they can go the season just with him. So I expect them to sign a keeper. And who would you sign? Would you sign Martinez? Will they go for Martinez? Will they go for Donnarumma? My thought is they go for Donnarumma. And then you look at Man United. Can they really start the season with Onana in goal again? I don't think they can. No. So they desperately need a striker. We know Newcastle were desperately looking for a striker and tried to sign Trafford, but Man City have come in. Does that mean Ortega, who's now free?
Yeah, I think he'll move.
Where would he go? And then you hear the news last night that Spurs are looking to loan out, or there's a possibility of a loan for Kinski to Lille. Now, will that mean
that mate? Doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. Well, unless Spurs are trying to make a bid for Donnarumma, obviously. But I can see Spurs.
That would shut a few people up, wouldn't it? Very quickly.
Yeah, I can see Spurs making a bid for Ortega if that happened.
Yeah, I think Ortega's a very, very capable goalkeeper. I think he'd be first choice in probably maybe 6 teams in the Premier League, 7 teams in the Premier League. I think he's better than. I think he's better than Leno. I think he's better than West Ham's goalkeeper. I think he's better than 3 teams that are coming up. Wouldn't be surprised if Leeds were to sell Illan Meslier and then were to move for
a new striker. I think they bought a new keeper, Leeds, haven't they?
Oh, have they? Fair enough. Sorry, maybe I forgot.
They are Leeds. While we're on the Leeds, they are definitely trying to. I know a few clubs are after him, but Igor Piazzo, the final winger, they bid now up to 28 million for him. They bid 20. They've upped their bid. Leeds definitely trying to do a bit of business, Sean. Definitely 2 centre backs bought in, midfielder, goalkeeper. And now a good little winger.
I think it's amazing because they were trying to get that Sean Longstaff deal done, weren't they? And
Longstaff deal's been done.
Yeah, but that was the big trigger for me going, they mean business. They're doing their best to step up and stay. But they kept getting their bids rejected. And then once they finally got it, I was like, okay, let's see where they go next. But they're not slowing down.
£12 million. I think that's
good value.
Bid.
I thought he was much older than he is, by the way. I thought he was like 33 because he's been around that long, but he's not. But then he's got Sunderland, mate, as well. Sunderland, right? So let's look at their list. Sunderland have already bought Diarra for €31.5 million, Lefay for 23, Talby, the winger from Bruges, quality player, 23 million, Adingra from Brighton, 21 million. He really interesting. Siddiqui, 17 million. Reinildo, the left back, who. Where was he playing before? Was it Atletico Madrid? I think he was at Reinildo. And then they just got Granit Xhaka's deal done today. Here we go. So they brought in 1, 2, 3. They brought in 7 players that I believe, all first team players.
It was over 100. It was over £107 million. Yes, they got for Joe Bellingham 40 million euros or whatever for him, but they spent big. But I think Granit Xhaka is the most important of all the signings, if you want my honest opinion. The experience there for him, you know, they're trying to bring back Jordan Henderson and he dumped them at the gate. I think it's been a blessing in disguise because I think Granit Xhaka offers far more now to Sunderland than Henderson could have done. We got some super chats, Sean. And some...
Oh, do we? Oh, sorry, my bad, guys. Tony Rodriguez, new member of the show. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, my man. Very cool of you, buddy. Appreciate your support on all the channels, mate. You're a legend. And Blaine Devlin has also become a superstar again. He's always on the superstar with his 5 gifted Football Inc. memberships. Thank you so much, Blaine. You're an absolute legend, mate. You are pressuring Jonny and I into front running our members only content. We have to get round to doing this very soon because
Sean, just to say to you that you remember I sent you the link for the fantasy football.
Oh, have you? I haven't. No,
yeah,
I
sent it to you. Sent it in your email, and I sent it to WhatsApp. So because I've set it up now, the fantasy football. Okay. And if you want to come and join, there's the code there for everyone to come and join. More the merrier.
Here we go. Let me get it for us. Live. Join the Fantasy League. Bosh. There you go, guys. 410 people here, by the way. Please don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't already. Really helps the channel. Hit the subscribe, notification bells, and also all of the links for audio and all that stuff is in the chat. I'll be adding, or in the description, I'll be adding the Premier League join link into the description from now on as well. Do we need a code, or does it just say?
Yeah, the code's there. Yeah, the code's there.
KOGV9C.
Yeah. So come and join. I've set that up. And the code should be there. Is it there, Sean? Have you put the code in?
Yeah, it's there. KOGV9C.
Yeah, there you go, guys. And come and join that. Hope to get a whole load of people in for this season. We'll have to come up with some prizes, Sean, for the winner.
Yeah, get a Cremonese t-shirt or something.
Yeah, Cremonese. I think we got another one. Tony Rodriguez with the super sticker.
Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate you, buddy. Very cool of you. Choo choo. We're off to Sweden. We're off to Sweden with the super sticker train. Thank you very much. Oh, Saba's coming with a raid as well. Big up, Saba. Thank you very much indeed, guys.
Please, nice to see you all. And if you have been gifted a membership by Blaine from Super Spurs TV, please send him a thank you, guys. Please send him a thank you and show your appreciation.
Those of you that just arrived, if you want to join the Football Inc. Fantasy Football, the link is, I'll post it again. That's not it. Hang on, let me get it again. 1 secondo. There's the auto join link. Guys, if you want to participate in our league this year, we'll be having prizes and all that stuff as well. Once I can figure out how to do, I don't know why I can't open it on my own browser. But, mate, I just want to talk to you a little bit about this Rodrigo stuff. It's back today. Rodrigo to Tottenham is back out there in the aggregators. What are we doing here, Johnny? Is there any chance that Daniel Levy's going to be feeling the heat of a summer that's been a little bit of a bust so far and goes, oh, let them eat cake. Just give him Rodrigo. Let them eat cake.
I mean, poor old Thomas Frank. He's gone out to Hong Kong. He's got about 40 players there. He could have fielded 3 teams, but when you look at it, the squad's nowhere near good enough. If it wasn't good enough to win, any real games in the Premier League, we lost 22 games in the Premier League and managed to battle our way to the final and win in Bilbao. If it's not good enough for that, there's no way it's good enough for the bloody Premier League and this one. And we need to make some serious signings. We need a signing on the left-hand side. Simple as that. Just not good enough on the left. If he comes in and he actually puts the money down for Rodrigo, he might get some breathing space. But right now, we are in an embarrassment yet again. Just when you thought Spurs weren't Spursy anymore, we are. I mean, honestly and truthfully, it's embarrassing. It ain't enough that we had William right? Thought we got William all signed, sealed, and delivered. And just while we're trying to do his contract, he leaps out the frigging window. We've had that one. And then we had, what was the other one we had?
We've had loads, mate. Damiao, we've had Leandro Damiao about 100 times, haven't we? We've had so many nearly hits. But listen, I want to, in order for someone to come in on the left, for what it's worth, by the way, we were talking about the strikers and everyone's talking about the guys that will be going, should be going. Like, there's nobody in football apart from seemingly Tottenham fans who have been drawn attention to the player because of a link that emerged a month ago, but nobody else. For all of the strikers that are out there, why on God's green earth is Jorge Mikhailtadze not being... He's available for on not the cheap, but he's such a good player. He's such an unbelievable talent. He's got magic feet, Johnny, magic feet. And he's a 9 that can drop into the 10, that can play off the left. He can do a little bit of everything. He's a little guy. He can jimmy in, jimmy out. Right? He can do everything that Tottenham would need, and about 25 other clubs, for what it's worth, that are better than Lyon, that are more stable than Lyon, in a better, more competitive league, that are still playing Champions League football. And nobody seems to be talking about about going and pushing the numbers at Lyon, because we know that John Textor is financially really under the pressure.
Well, they're making out. They're making out they're not. Listen, whilst Chelsea is eBay FC, constantly trading, buying, selling all day long, Spurs are just interested FC. We're interested in everyone and signing no one. It's embarrassing right now. You know, when you look at the top clubs signing players, and you look at the list, it's embarrassing. If you're a Newcastle fan or a Spurs fan now, or an Aston Villa fan, you're getting left in the mud right now. It's not good enough. We know why Aston Villa are in that situation. We know why Newcastle were in that situation. But no Spurs fan right now is accepting the current situation that we don't have money. We're in the Champions League. We've now got 30 non-football events at the stadium. The money's rolling in. We just won the trophy, got bonuses and all the rest of it. It's an absolute joke. We need to start making moves and serious moves. And no one wants to be Googling, come tomorrow morning or tonight, no one wants to be Googling any player. Sean, you and I have gone through so many players over the last 2.5 months since we've been doing Football Inc. We know a lot of players, right? We know a lot. If we have to Google any of the players that we are going to sign now, I know the game's up. Why don't we go for Armand Dashwari, right? He's still available, right? We need a creative player. We need someone in the middle of the park. We didn't have one player in those 2 games that was creating anything through the middle. Nobody. Yet we're not moving. Would Rodrigo, I mean, you know the rumours that Liverpool are being linked, if they can sell Elliott and Darwin Núñez, that they want to buy Rodrigo and Isak, right? To get both, and it's possible. But could Spurs really be going in there and paying that? I can't see Spurs.
Nah, I don't see it. I don't see
the wages. Not a chance. Not a chance.
I don't. Listen, I'm not sitting here saying he's not a great player. So I'll give you the same vibe, but not for the same reasons as with Gibbs White. He's clearly a great player, Gibbs White. I've always said I just didn't think he was the right sort of allocation of money at that stage in the window, right? And so we've wasted 2 weeks, like the cat's out of the bag and yada, yada, yada. It's just all been a shit show. Rodrigo is clearly a brilliant player, but I don't think he's as brilliant as everyone thinks he is. I think he's a very good player, but people put him on this pedestal of being top 5 wingers in the world. And he isn't, in my opinion. He's a top player, maybe top 10, but he's not top 5. And so if you're going to drop 70 million quid on him, I'd rather Tottenham go and get a boy like an Eberechi Eze, right, who can do it off the left and drop 100%. Drift in and 100%. Add a little bit more versatility. Because I think that you've also got players that might be able to do the take-on stuff that maybe they're not quite ready yet. But Rodrigo is a wonderful player, but I think that it doesn't seem like it's value. Not that we should care about value.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
You understand what I mean, though, right?
Yeah. Do you know, it's interesting, right? You know, people talking about Rafinha as a class above. Now, under Xavi, Rafinha, when he was playing out on the left-hand side, he was having an absolute mare because the system didn't suit him. Hansi Flick comes in, he moves him in central, and he can't stop scoring. Now he's a worldie, right? You know, I mean, Rafinha, I actually just had something drop. We've been talking about, if you've just come in, we've been talking about goalkeeper merry-go-round, and Newcastle, we were talking about them. Well, they're making it happen because Newcastle are now in deep talks with Southampton over a move for Aaron Ramsdale. Newcastle are looking into the possibility of signing him at Arsenal, but couldn't get the deal done. Ramsdale knows Newcastle boss Eddie Howe, having played under him at Bournemouth. Would this be a better move than James Trafford for them from an experience point of view?
What was the name of the goalkeeper?
Aaron Ramsdale, mate.
No, James Trafford would have been the right move if you could have got him. How old's Aaron Ramsdale now? 27, 28?
26, 27. Yeah, 27, 28.
And James Trafford's what, 21?
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying to you is from an experience point of view, I mean, you've got to say that, you know, Ramsdale's played for an Arsenal team for a good number of years. He's gone out to Southampton. It's got to be. I mean, listen, the ceiling, Trafford, no question about it whatsoever, right? The better goalkeeper. But I just, you know, if they're going to try and get a goalkeeper now, and the fact that they're being rejected by every Tom, Dick and Harry, is this not the best one that that Newcastle could possibly get right now?
No, like, I think if I'm entirely honest, mate, like, I don't know, I think Aaron Ramsdale's got a bozo gene in him as well. I really do. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Again, I'd park him in like the same bucket as probably 25 other goalkeepers. Like, I don't think he didn't do anything. He wasn't, you know, Southampton were relegated. How many, like, I don't know. I haven't checked, but I'd imagine that his expected goals conceded versus his goals conceded were not that different. So I don't think he's
Stefan Ortega. I mean, look, I'm just saying from Newcastle, where Newcastle are at the moment, they got Pope and Dubravka, right? And they're looking for a better goalkeeper. So
yeah, I think Dubravka's got to go. He's no good. Yeah. But he's just not, like, he's move on to a different level, change your career path. But there's, like I say, I do think that there's going to be a massive merry-go-round of goalkeeping moves at the end, towards the end of the window, just because it seems like everybody's looking for goalkeepers, but there seems at the moment to be a bit of an overinflation in some of the valuations. Like, I don't know how you can value Emi Martinez at 40 million quid. It's bonkers for a 37-year-old.
Yeah, listen, Ramsdale, as pointed out,
I'm not that fussed by Ramsdale, mate. I just don't think maybe a loan move in case Southampton come back up again. Maybe that.
I don't think Southampton are willing to sell him. It is a loan, and as Maisie's adventure, Ramsdale relegated 3 times. I see that Arsenal have given they've given Gyökeres the Thierry Henry shirt. Is that right?
14. Yeah, went 14.
Let's hope
big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill, eh?
Big shoes to fill. I mean, listen, I'm a bit gutted. I've got to be honest as a Spurs fan, because I've wanted Victor Gyökeres for a good while now, and watching him score all those goals every season. You know, when we signed Solanke, it was like, why aren't we signing Gyökeres? And now to see him turn up in the red half of Arsenal and all the Arsenal fans running around doing that stupid celebration. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen the videos.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
You're cringy, isn't it? Can I talk about cringe? Can I ask you about, did you see Rory Jennings, is it? The Chelsea guy? This guy comes out with some absolute whoppers of takes, right? Like, I swear he's just doing it because he knows he's going to get the clicks. And fair play to him, he's got a thick skin, because some of the Twitter vitriol that gets thrown his way is just exceptional. But he said that grown men that wear football shirts when they're not either going to the gym or whatever else, right? He goes, it's just cringy and it's playing dress up and doing fancy dress. He's like, no, but we whenever I go to a football game, the most I'll ever do is wear like a little pin on my lapel or whatever. But like, what is he doing? He's offending like 1 billion people.
He's called out everybody. He's called out everybody.
Madness. What's he doing? You know? Why would you go after the fans of literally every single club? It's like if you want to have like a rivalry, like beef with a certain set of fans because you're Chelsea, you want to beef with Tottenham. Fair enough. But going after everybody that wears a football shirt is just a wild take, man.
Listen, talking about Chelsea, I've got another one for you. This is going to really shock you, Sean. We need to count how many there's been. But Chelsea goalkeeper Mike Penders has joined who?
Mike Penders?
Yeah, who's he joined? Chelsea's Mike Penders.
Oh, Strasbourg?
Yes. How did you guess? How did you guess? I can't believe you got that one.
There was an article that came out. I think I'm not sure if I did a video on this channel or on Sean Butler TV or even on Spurs. I can't remember. But it was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. There was an analysis of the MCO model, and the whole take was written by people that are essentially saying that they advise people on how to structure deals, and it was the whole point of like. The benefits of MCO are not really as profound as people think. Like in terms of, are there more deals that happen between two clubs that operate within an MCO than two clubs that don't? The answer, according to their stats, was no. And they didn't give any examples of outliers. And I was like, well, hang about. Like Leipzig and Salzburg have traded between the two clubs more times than any other two clubs in Europe by a factor of 2, I think it is, over the last 15 years. And Chelsea and Strasbourg...
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
But that's what MCOs are for. That's the whole point. It's one of the value propositions is use them as your testing ground, right? Use the pecking order.
Keep an eye on Strasbourg this season because they're obviously. I mean, look, Chelsea are also doing a lot of business with Fulham. I don't know why they're a football club. They could just be a trading company. It would be they do far better than just worrying about football.
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall, Raheem Sterling, and Reece Nelson all looking to go to Fulham.
Yeah.
They're trying to negotiate all 3 deals there. Are they getting a job lot? Like, we'll do you 3 for the price of 2?
Going down Costco.
I mean, Reece Nelson obviously has already been there. So, he had an injury at the end of the season. I mean, he's really fallen off, Reece Nelson. I mean, he was, a real... I mean, obviously, Reece Nelson's from Arsenal. So, sorry, my bag. But Dewsbury Hall and Raheem Sterling, would you be taking them? Do you think he's got any football left? Or do you think he was just, he has got lots of football left and he was just in the wrong team at Chelsea where he's never going to get the minutes?
I think Sterling is going to be a moments player. I think at this stage of his career, I think he was fantastic, wasn't he, for so long? But I think he's probably looking for a place where he can play, 35, 40 minutes here and there. I think Fulham was a good place. It's interesting that Chelsea and Fulham have got no problem doing business together. They're supposed to be West London rivals, and yet Chelsea and Tottenham and West Ham and Tottenham, all these clubs that hate doing business with Tottenham because we're the rivals. Yet Chelsea and Fulham should be arch enemies, and that yet they're more than happy to potentially trade. I think that it's probably not a bad move for Raheem Sterling, especially given the way that Marco Silva play. They love to. If Silva can kept hold of Kenny Tete in the end, they're right back, and if they can keep hold of Anthony Robinson, then they can maintain that width. And then if they improve on their wingers by someone like a Raheem Sterling on the left, who can still take a man on when things are when he's up for it. I think it's quite a good move. And Dewsbury Hall is a really, really solid player. Really solid player. Probably a good fit for their midfield as well. Don't mind that at all.
I just as a Spurs fan, it's really frustrating when you look at, our inability to sell players, and then you look at Chelsea selling, and you look at Arsenal. Right now, Arsenal, they can sell Trossard, they can sell Reece Nelson. Will they sell Martinelli? They've got assets there that are worth very good money and will go some way to financing their move for Eze. Yeah, we can't even sell Basuma or half of the players. We can't even sell Ben Davis. I mean, we can't seem to sell anybody in the squad. And I just don't know whether, are they cop blocking, Sean?
Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out.
Just when you thought your squad was getting proper, a player won't leave They call that cock blocker.
There's a lot of cock blocks.
United have got a lot of cock blockers. Anthony is one. Rashford's gone. Garnacho is still a cock blocker. He's not leaving at the moment. Is Basuma a cock blocking?
Yep. Oh, well, I mean, there's sort of some sort of murmurings going around, isn't there, that he actually might be of favour. He might be of interest to the manager. I don't know. Talk to me about that one.
Well, he likes a player to get busy, and he likes someone who's snapping at the heels. But we've all seen with Basuma, he can snap at the heels, but then completely lose it, make stupid, rash challenges. We saw under Ange when he was brought on to calm things down after we've received a yellow card. He's come on within 2 seconds, he's got a yellow card. Or we saw the nonsense when we were at Luton with you when he dived. He was already on a yellow card and he dived. He constantly has brain farts. And,
he's not good enough.
Yeah, if you took physicality point of view, then he's got something about him. But unless Thomas Frank can rekindle the Basuma that we saw at Brighton or at Lille, then for me he's got to go. I mean, you would say that Richarlison's a cock blocker, would you not? Or not?
Look, yes. Look, my sort of definition. I know that I get in trouble with this with Adam Cahill on our chat. He doesn't like me saying it this way, but like it's just it's a choice of phrase. In essence, forget the phrase "cock block." At the end of the day, what I mean is that universally, most people in the fan base don't think that Richarlison's good enough. Most people would like to see him moved on. Most people, if they rate the player, they recognise that he's injured all the time. But he doesn't. He seems to be wanted by certain clubs every year. People are interested in him. He just doesn't want to go. And on that basis, if most people don't want someone there and they just refusing to go and taking up a squad space whilst also being injured all the time, regardless of how I feel of the player, I don't rate him. I know a lot of people do, but whatever. Yeah, I call that a cop block. Yeah, 100%. He should move on. If I wouldn't stay anywhere where I'm not welcome, not saying that the Tottenham hierarchy don't necessarily feel that way, but I think the fan base generally feel that way, don't they, Johnny? Do you think?
Well, I think so. I mean, listen, there are certain players who you'd want, and there's certain players that you would say were potholes.
You've been too fast for me today. Here we go.
You better watch out for the pothole, 'cause it's something to avoid. Don't ignore all his issues. Don't ignore all the noise.
Is Dominic Calvert-Lewin the biggest pothole around at the moment? Is he the player that all fans of clubs in the Premier League right now will be saying, please don't bring him. Please don't bring him to...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's... I don't know how it is that he ever got to such a status where people sort of talk about him. It feels like he's kind of respected. He's kind of like... I mean, I don't know what it is that people see in him if they actually rate him. I think most fans would shudder at the idea. Most fans that have got ambitions would shudder at the idea of signing him. If he became a new player and he went for... I don't care if he's on a free transfer. Like, for me, it's just like, what are we doing here? Unless it's a pay-as-you-play and then he doesn't take it because he's homegrown, it's not a problem for the squads, that sort of stuff. But, like, it's just... For me, no. Like, absolutely not. If Aston Villa get him and they have to make room by losing one of their better players, that just goes to show you that Villa are paying the Pied Piper. Like, they don't have the same resources. They haven't got the same kind of levels of intellect with how to move money around and how to operate. Like Todd Boehly and Chelsea seem to be able to do all of the things that they want to do, get away with it. But the players that they attract, the players that they sell, it's like you say, it's eBay FC. But like Aston Villa participating in a similar model, yet it's all caught up with them. And now they might have to face the reality of playing next season with DCL as their 9.
I mean, honestly, it's just
crazy.
Ryan G has just put forward that Spurs linked with Vladimir Kufal, and he's a massive pothole. And we've got another one down here that says Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a black hole, not a pothole.
That's amazing. Yeah, he sucks the life out of every team.
It's Wolves. He says, "Sorry, Wolves." Ryan, sorry, mate. I didn't see that. I was going to
say I've not seen Tottenham being linked with Super.
Spurs are linked with Andre. Let me tell you something. Right now, I like Yao Gomez at Wolves, but Andre, that wouldn't be the worst shout. If Spurs signed Andre, to be honest with you, if we're going for a, what's that?
Who said this? Who said something? Andre?
Andre was linked.
Yeah.
There's 6.
He's pushed João Gomez up to the 8, hasn't he?
Correct. Yeah, I like João Gomez. He used to link very well with Pedro Neto, and I really liked him. But Andre has had a really good last end of the season, so I think he's good. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Helps the algo. And if you're here for the first time, please hit subscribe. Helps the channel. We're on our way to 4,000, which is unbelievable in just over 2 months. We couldn't do it without you. And if you hit the notification bell, that will tell you when we're on, because we never know when we're going to be on. Anytime from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. No doubt there'll be plenty watching this later. We get quite a few from the States who tune in now, and from Asia and Peru, from all over. So thanks very much for the support, guys.
Look, I did say, Archer, I did say that if Spurs signed DCL, I'd become Levy out 100%. And you know what? With my track record this week, it will just be
Bomba! Here we go.
Bomba, DCL to Tottenham. And then, unfortunately, I'd have to be on the same side as people that I just don't view the football through the same lens as. So, looking. By the way, guys, tonight the second episode in 6 hours' time. The second episode of the Spurs 5 is going to be launching on the Spurs 5. Funnily enough, so make sure you get over to the Spurs 5 channel, subscribe, and set your notifications on that one so you don't miss it. I'm sure it's going to be spicy. I think. There's going to be a lot of takes tonight. I think Lubo's probably going to be going full Levy out mode. Stell's going to be going full Thomas Frank out mode. Or challenging the notion of selling Ange. I'm the host tonight, so I'm going to have to sit back and let other people take.
Sean, you got to join in tonight. It's a join in. It's a join in. Grab your popcorn, Noel. As Noel's put in, grab your popcorn. Lubo will go full Archie Gray. I mean, I'm a big fan of Archie Gray, but he's not ready yet. Look, the one thing's for sure right now is Spurs, Newcastle, and Aston Villa need to get up doing some bloody business right now, because we haven't done enough. And the top 4 are sailing off into the sunset, and we're just eating their dirt right now. Honestly, it's and I can't really see anything that's going to happen right at this moment that's going to change anything. Even if Spurs, we've said this before, Sean, even if Spurs went out and spent 150 million in the next couple of weeks, unless it's some massive game changer, like signing Rodri and Eze or something like that, and a 6, then I can't see us being anywhere near that top 4.
Yeah, no, this is the problem, right? So we spoke about this just quickly before I carry on, just quickly, a couple of super chats. Bobby Spurs, new member of the channel. Thank you very much, Bobby. Appreciate your support, my man. Thank you very much indeed. Tony's come in, member for 1 month. Thank you so much, Tony. He says he wants Rafael Leao, Dusan Vlahovic and Mohamed Kudus to lead Tottenham's front line. I'll be entirely honest. I said about Rodrigo, I think he's a great player, but he's not as good as people think he is. I've doubled down on that for Rafael Leao. If he's a £100 million player, then I'm a £100 million superstar content creator, because he is absolutely nothing like that. He's clumsy. He's a moments player. He looks great when he's into it, but he goes missing, and his final touch at times is just Like, just not of the level. Like, I think he's a very good player when he wants to be, but I just don't think he's that involved. So, that if he was a £50 million player, I'd get on board it. But 100, not for me. Johnny?
No, he's in and out. Look, my son knows is friendly with some rappers and he's more interested in his music, and his rapping tracks and stuff. I want my footballers to be dedicated and live and breathe football. Yeah, you can have a hobby, but first and foremost, you're a footballer. I just look at Marcus Rashford coming out of that game in that Louis Vuitton white jumpsuit. And for me, that said everything was wrong with footballers and their outside interest and forgetting who they are and how they got there. Talking of Emerson Royal, he's jumped in the chat. Emerson Royal has gone back to Brazil.
Yeah. Where did he go? Fluminense, wasn't it?
I think it's Fluminense, yeah. He started singing the song. Listen, he's the GOAT, man. I love Emerson Royal. You might not have thought he was the greatest footballer in the world, but there was something infectious about him. Really a big fan. Listen, he won a trophy at AC Milan, as all players who leave Spurs normally do.
Flamengo, sorry.
Flamengo. Gary Becks asks us, what did you make of George Abbott? I think George Abbott is a real dark horse. We were discussing him actually early this afternoon. In pre-season training, fitness, he has been absolutely superb and physical, great engine. And he could be the surprise in the squad for this season.
Yeah. Look, we were speaking about him backstage. We both thought he was older than he was, right? 19 years old, because he made his debut for Tottenham at the tail end of the Conte era. I actually thought it was in the Conte management. It wasn't. It was Mason or the other fella who took over for a little while. But whenever I've seen him, I think he looks like he's got a bit about him. He's got a good engine. He's a nice little pass. He's quite versatile as well. We'll see. Certainly someone that I don't think he'll hang around, really. You're not going to go from League 2 level football to Premier League. You're probably going to go somewhere in between first, but at least get him out there to see some minutes and see what he's capable of. He also might be necessary to hang around just for the fact that if we don't have those club-trained players, then you can obviously pivot to your B team for those reasons. And so maybe that's an argument.
Or Frank sees something in him that he thinks, I'll keep him around and I can hone this kid to be something special. Sorry, Sean, we got a super chat from Peru.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, Daniel Husen from Peru. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Choo from Husen. Appreciate you very much, mate. Down in Peru, not far from Machu Picchu, I believe. Yeah. Or am I making that up? Darkest Peru. Just quickly, Sam, I don't know what you're doing. You're winding everybody else up in the chat, mate. You've got mod status. That comes with responsibilities. If you keep winding people up, I might have to remove the mod, because I didn't know you too well before you came in and were one of the early adopters of the channel. So, but what's going on with the wind up there, Sam? What is it you're saying to people? I haven't really followed.
He says he doesn't. He says he don't. He says he don't care about Spurs. Don't care. He's winding up the. Sam hasn't had his pills this morning. Come on, Sam.
Everyone's saying the same thing. Everyone's saying, "Why did you give him?" I didn't know. Is he trouble? Is he trouble? I wonder if he's been blocking people on the silent, Johnny. If I go into the back room and see there's 1,000 people that have been blocked, maybe Sam's just on a tirade.
Yeah, Sam. Who's upset? Sam. With mods come responsibility.
He's a troll, is he? Oh, troll's not the same as being a donut, though, is it? Trolls are fine. Mate, last couple of stories before we round off. I'll let you get back out for your last couple of days with your holiday with your missus. PSG have reached a verbal agreement, just come out now from Santi JFM to sign Lucas Chevalier.
The goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. So does that...
Chevalier.
Donnarumma's off then, probably, right? There's not going to sign both of them, are they? Not going to keep both of them happy, or are they?
No, they're not. So I'm going to put my money on Chelsea.
Donnarumma to Newcastle? Donnarumma to Chelsea? Where's he going to go?
Chelsea. It's going to the Donnarumma is obvious. Like I said to you before, he's either going to Spurs. No, he's going to go to Chelsea. I think Man United would love it, but when you look at Chelsea where they are now, Champions League, just won the Club World Cup, being in London, I think it's Chelsea's written all over it. No doubt I don't know, maybe they'll sell some of the ground staff to fund it.
I said this, I think we said this a couple of weeks ago. Chelsea basically now are, if they can get like a top draw striker, like I know that Pedro and Liam Delap, can play in that role. If they see Pedro more as a left wing, I don't know, whatever, right? But not even so much a striker, but really, if they can go and get a goalkeeper and one of the better centre halves in the game, if they were to go and sign a Scalvini that's an up and coming kid, or if they were to sign, I don't know, like an Alessandro Bastoni or something from Inter, and then also Donnarumma, I think it's fairly difficult then to split Chelsea from the other three teams. I think at the moment Chelsea are probably still fourth of the four of them.
Do you think so?
Debatable, very debatable. But
it's a tough one because don't forget, with Xavi Simons coming in and Jared Hatto. Like, listen, we're big fans of Hatto. Saw him again. I was watching him a lot in the under-21s. Great player, and Simons is still only 22. I'm not sure what Leipzig are doing. Are they having a clear out? Do they need the money? Really? Do they need the money? They're getting rid of about 150 million pounds worth of talent in Sesko and Simons. So seems a strange one to me. But Chelsea, if they get Donnarumma, that absolutely gets some extra points because Sanchez, okay, he had a great game in that final. It was probably instrumental in keeping him in it, but no, not for me. I think Donnarumma is the difference between maybe 10 points in a season. I really do think that much. I think he's
amazing saving penalties. He's amazing. He's such a big guy, but such an agile
the best
person.
Goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. And I think if you add him to your defence, you're definitely adding points to your game in the season. Yeah. And I can't see anyone breaking into that top four. No one.
No. I said before, yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what happens to the rest of the window for Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, or anybody else. Everybody starts the season further back than they did when the window opened, regardless of what happens between now and the end of the window, in my opinion.
Yeah, got to. Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button. The likes to people who are in the chat ratio is not as good. Must have a lot of Daniel Levy fans in here tonight. Being a bit tight on the likes. And if you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button. And no, it doesn't cost you any money to subscribe. But it just tells you when we're going to be on, and we never know when we're going to be on. And on our journey to 4,000, quite incredible in such a short space of time. Sean, have you got any other ones before we go?
Mate, it's just about good nothing. That's about it for today, mate. So we'll leave it there, guys, I think.
Yeah, if you want to join our fantasy football, our Football Link fantasy football, the link is in the chat. Sean, you want to whack it back up again?
There you go.
Here we go. Come and join us in the league. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this one, have we, Johnny? Sorry, we haven't talked about that one.
Oh, really. I know.
I mean, it's not worth talking about, is it? It's never going to happen.
I mean, listen. I can understand why Spurs will want to sign him just to keep the medical team busy over the summer and winter months, because he's been more injured than Richarlison and Darren Anderton. No chance. I mean, when they signed him, I heard he was great at nailing the crosses, but no, Jesus, he's not for me. And I think he'll end up back in Brazil for me. Yeah, I think that's the tail end of his career. And the Man City certainly knew what they were doing when they got rid.
If he can if he can fix his injury problems, his cruciate knee ligaments, he may rise again. But we don't think it will happen with the Tottenham show.
Good one, Sean. Eh? Jesus shall rise again. Eh?
On the Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah,
Good
Monday night.
Monday. Yeah.
Jesus rises from the dead.
Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Like, subscribe, and comment, and make sure you get over to Spurs 5 at 8 p.m. tonight. Thank you for everyone for the super chats. Thank you for the. We did the last super chat. I did the last super chat. Thank you for all the support as always. It's been amazing. Please do subscribe. And on that basis, Johnny, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him.
Bye, guys.